Okay, here we go. This will be our first lesson. So be a good student and sit down in your chairs. No talking. None of this kind of stuff. We're going to get serious about how we're going to learn a golf swing. And here's your lesson. And this is the book. Remember, I showed you this before. This is the manual that goes into my book. This will fit in here, and this will be the third section in the book. So we're going to open up the page, and we're going to go to the section of vocabulary. We have to be able to understand what we're talking about. When I teach a lot, especially younger students, haven't played a lot or just beginning, the first thing you have to do is to learn to communicate. And you have to understand what I am saying, why I'm saying it, and how does it work. So if I use words and you don't understand what I'm saying, then it goes right over your head. So when I say something to a student, and say he's a young person who's just starting, this is about the plane of your swing. And you have to swing the club on the plane. Well, not try to embarrass them, but I want to say to them, can you explain me what a plane is? Well, you can go to your vocabulary and look up the book and that kind of thing. But we have to understand what the word means. And we're talking about a golf swing, and there are many planes. If you have a plane that goes that way, that's a plane, or it could be that way, or it could be this way. A lot of different planes. So what exactly are we talking about? So when I get done with my student, afterwards I always ask them, please repeat what I've told you today. What does this mean and how does it work? Because if you pretend and you're busy like, well, I'm not, I have to keep up my speed here so I think I'm understanding, then we're missing the whole point here. So communication and vocabulary is everything. So here is the first lesson. We're going to go through here, and I'll put it right here. I can't put the whole, there's the top of it. It's called vocabulary. And you can see there it says my motto, and the motto will tell me what it means. And it'll go all the way down. So we have an outline. Now, later on, just to explain to you, I want you to look at this part right here. Can you see the part here? Yeah, we have one here. Yeah, right here. My thumb is. See the dark line? That's the video. Now the video has a number and a name on it, and it will go back to where it comes from. If it comes from the video, it comes from these places. And this video will talk about this, and this video will talk about this. So, my motto, which I did in my other book, the first part of the book, now the second part of the book, I'm going to use the same motto. You have to see it. So if you don't if I tell you there's a plane, I'm going to use this for many reasons. It's a heavy, it's like a workout thing. You put your weights on it, but it's a heavy. And I'll use this to use it, and I can show different planes and that kind of stuff. So a plane, basically, a golf swing, is a plane that goes, you point it at the ball, and it comes to your shoulder, or if the plane is over here and it's over here, so there's your plane right there, okay? Now, to see the plane, there's the plane, you have to see this. You have to see it. Where does it go? Where does it go? Where does it go? You want to feel it, feel the weight of it. And it's over here, it's over here. Now I'm going to talk about momentum and resistance and counterbalance, all this type of stuff about this little heavy stick. To see a plane, as I said before, we're going to use Moe Norman vocabulary. So when he says upside down thinking, which one is upside down? Well, I don't know which one it is, right? Well, Moe was asked, how do you take the club backwards? And Moe said, my forward swing makes my backswing, and my backswing makes my downswing. Upside down thinking. Now I want to show you why that's important. Because everybody, I'd say 99% of most players, if you got yourself a golf club, and there's a head, and that's the face, so that's you're going to hit the ball with it. People are just focused on that face of the club. And I have to make sure that thing comes in square to the ball. I'm just focusing on that. Well, Moe doesn't look at the face of the club. He'll set it down, and he'll make sure everything's lined up. But he is looking to hit the ball that way. And so when he looks at it, he goes forward. He's looking at the butt of the club going that way, and he sees a picture. And this picture comes back to here, to here, to here. It's like a triangle, the way your eyes work, right? Boom, 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 boom. I see it right there. I can feel it, and I can see where that is going. I can see that. So that's important to know. I want to have the club pointing at the target. If I'm looking at the face, and the face goes anywhere, and I bring it out, well, it's pointing over there, or it's pointing over there. So you have to see what you're doing. Then you have to understand what it's doing. The plane goes toward the target. And it's the different types of planes and so forth. But basically, I didn't want to go that way, but I have to hit it with this end of the club. But I don't have to worry about it, because if I grab the club here and I don't look at the head, I'm just going to look at my hands, and my hands are where it needs to be. And wherever my hand goes, that face, I don't need to see the face. I'm going to go from here to here, and it will be square. So you trust your hands, not looking at the face of the club. The other thing is you got two hands. You got two hands. The hands have to work together. So I have to have the knowledge to get the grip in the hands. And that's the next section, we'll get to that. So you have to see it, and you have to know it, then you have to believe it. If you see something and you don't understand it or you don't like it, you're not going to believe it. And if you don't believe it, it's not going to work because your mind doesn't know the difference between a positive or a negative. Anything you put in, it takes it. And another thing, when I teach, I never teach negative things. I always teach positive things. Don't ever talk negative. So if you got a student and say, don't do this or don't do that, you just programmed yourself to do it. The other way, say, well, don't say this, but say that. That's upside down thinking. The other part of Mo, he says, more is less and less is more. More is less. More motion, more stuff to do, the less you're going to hit it. If I have to do only one thing, that's less, then less becomes more. Too much, eliminate things, and less makes it more, because the more you hit it is the better. More is less and less is more. So you have to think about that. So negative teaching has to be positive, and it has to look at the target, not at yourself. You're going to know how to do this because I'm going to teach you how your hands and your feet, your arms and so forth are working. And if you put it in the right way and you can repeat it, it takes a lot of pressure, a lot of time and a lot of work on it, but you'll get it. And we're going to do a lot of drills so you can see things and understand it and feel it when you're learning it. So once you understand and know it and believe it, now you have to repeat it. Repeat it and repeat it, repeat it. And if you hit a bad one, forget it. Now I'll tell you a story for Mo. Mo, we're out there and we've got a bunch of people, I think about 100 of them from Japan, came all the way to Florida to see an exhibition of Mo. And of course, I'm the guy that takes him over and sets it up and got everything ready to go for him and that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of the host, or whatever you want to call me. I'm kind of the mediator, because when Mo says something, they'll ask him a question. I'm going to have to be the interpreter, not only Japanese, but even in the English language, because Mo's going to tell you something. Less is more, and these guys won't know what it means, okay? So I'll do that. So anyway, he's coming over here, and all these people, we got the stands are set up and so forth, and now he's, and we're ready to go. I got the mic out there and said, well, we're going to bring out Mo Norman now, and he's going to show you how he hits it. Mo? Mo? Where are you, Mo? Well, he's about 50 yards over here hitting balls. Mo, we're supposed to be over here. Mo, come on up here. No, I like it here, I like it here. So therefore, we all got out of the stands and we came all over to the other side and we got in front of Mo. Now I got a point I'm getting to here. So anyway, Mo's out hitting balls, boom, 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 and they're all going, ooh, ooh, oh, ah, yeah, ah, yeah, oh. And so somebody says, in English, she says, Mo, can you hit that tree over there? And Mo goes, no, my ball never hits tree. My ball won't hit tree. And he keeps on hitting balls. But Mo, say you had to hit that tree. Why? I never hit trees. The ball won't hit a tree. There's no tree on the green. It's just hitting balls. Finally, I grabbed him and I just aim at that pin, that green tree. I made him think it's a pin, but he knows it's a tree. So he actually said he was going to do it. So he turns around and he hits it at the tree. He hit a duck hook. I haven't ever seen him, unless he wanted to do it. When he ever doing an exhibition, I'd never seen him hit a hook. And he turns around and he said, see, the ball will no go to a tree. It can't go there. The ball's not allowed to hit a tree. So what did I just say there? That's a negative. Hit it into a tree is a negative thing. His mind worked that way on a negative thing. He only sees positive things. He turned around, and then he saw a tree out there. There's one right next to the pin. See that? Right at that tree beyond the pin. Because now he saw a positive thing. Because the ball's not going to go that far, and he's going right at the pin right next to the tree. That's positive thinking. So you don't want to learn when you get up to a hole and you're going to have a big lake on the left side and you have a tree on the right side, and you get up there and you see all of a sudden a bunch of negative thoughts. You just program yourself. You don't want to hit in the water, so you hit the tree. If you can look at the picture and you don't see that, you're just out in the desert, it's this dead straight line, and hit it, you're going to hit it a lot better because you in a positive thinking. So when you learn to do these things and have your system put together and everything's there, then you're going to be able to repeat it to the point where you can own it. When I say own it, you've got it to a level where you're very comfortable of what you're doing. And you've got an outline, you've got you have a system. Your body is like a chain, it's just a big chain from the shoulder all the way down to the leg, and you can see that, and I can see the shot, and have that positive thing there. This learned how you learn something like this. Now the second part is about, this part here is about rhythm, momentum and resistance, and counterbalance. Why am I going to teach all this? Because it's important to know why it happens. So I'm going to teach a waggle, and the waggle is going to teach the slot, and the slot's going to make the swing. That's how you're going to do it. I'm going to teach a waggle. A waggle is a little mini swing. Okay? That's a waggle. That will turn into a corner. This is the corner of the swing. Okay? Then it'll go up and change direction and come down, back where you came from, and you'll go through. So momentum and resistance is important because this face is controlled by these two hands. They control that face. And we don't want, once you have it, you look up, and you put it down where it's supposed to be correctly. You know it's there now. You know exactly where it's at. Forget about it. Now I want to get my hands in the right positions. So when Mo says the follow through creates the backswing, what does that mean? So this is the center point, and this is called counterbalance. If you put weight on this side, it goes that way. You put weight on this side, you put that way. So it's counterbalance. And you want to keep this counterbalance in the plane. So there's a counterbalance in the swing. All right. So how does this work? Well, if you start this way, the club has to go backwards. So if I go backward, I could do this. I would pull it back. That took it backward. What if I do this? If I move it forward, where does that go? That goes backwards. Counterbalance, the balance goes over there to forward. This one goes to backward. That's momentum and resistance. Counterbalance. So when Mo says, I'm ready to hit the ball, I make a backswing, means he goes toward the target. He goes toward the target. And that puts the club back. Then, now the club changes direction because it went forward. Now it's going forward. The momentum is going this way. Okay? And you still have resistance over here. So when Mo makes his waggle, he'll start, here's his guy, he's got a straight line motion, he's got a straight line, his hands are on here, and we'll talk about the hands. But here's the ball over here, and then he puts the club over here. Now that's a real important thing too, we can talk about that later. But now, to take the club back, he has a butt, and he's going to focus on the butt because I want to hit it that way. So I'm going to take this butt and stick it at the target. See that? Stick it to the target. Well, the club goes back. Now, my shoulder is connected, and my shoulder is working with this, and now the shoulder is pushing that way. So that turns into a backswing, but he feels that way. Watch this. He feels, now you don't see it go like this, but he's feeling, and all of this is going to be talk about counterbalance. Here's a triangle here to here. It's a triangle here, here, here. If I take my setup and I put counterbalance as variable, if I do this, now we're on a different, now counterbalance is up here and it's down here. And that matches with the plane. So you have to put all these parts together. And I'm going to teach all that. But I'm talking now about counterbalance and momentum and resistance. So when Mo, you make a waggle, what he does, he'll do. See that? Now, when I do it, I don't think Mo is more, he's more quiet with his legs. I kind of feel it more in my feet, but what I like to do is I like to have the butt and my legs go together. Mo does, this part doesn't go forward, but this part does. But when I do it, then I can feel that. So if I get wide and I counterbalance, so now I've got 60% over here. So where's the bottom angle? There's a triangle down here. Where's the weight over here? Well, if this is 60, then this is 40. And here's the middle. So it's still 100. Here, I'm 40, and here is 60. So it's counterbalance and momentum and resistance. And as we go, I'll keep talking, I'll say it over and over more, and you'll get it more and more. So you'll see a waggle, momentum and resistance, and counterbalance. Now, here's a golf swing. Now, there's the counter. This is on balance there, and then the weight goes either way. If I put weight on it, then it goes down. If this one goes up, that goes up. So if this gets heavy, then I have to counterbalance it with something else. Now I'm on plane. This way I'm off plane. Now I'm on plane. When you have a pendulum, the club will come right underneath the axis. It'll just swing underneath that pivot point, right? Well, in a golf club, if it's there, it has to pivot point someplace. Do you think it's the butt? Well, it's a straight thing. How you can't do that? Well, that's true. You can't bend this. You can't have a counterbalance over here. But my hands are connected to the club. So therefore, here's my hands. My hands are right here, right? Now, if I'm here, and this goes that way, the momentum's going that way, But where is the balance point? The balance point is between your hands, because your hands can do things that this can't do. This can't do anything, but my hands can. So what I can do, this hand can do that, and this hand can do that, but the hands have to work together. And your hands, so when you get the club, I'll give you a little counterbalance in the grip. If you just take your normal hand and just put, I stand up like this. So my hand's over here. So I'll just bring it out right like this, right? I'm not going to do anything. It's my natural thing. Well, let's do it right there. Now, I'm going to put it right there. I haven't done anything. All I did is from here to here. I'm going to take this club, because this is my plane. Here's my plane. So my hands are going to go this way. I'll put the thing right into that slot, and there's a grip. And you can see there's your grip. And I'll go into that again, but that's exactly how it works. And then you put this one just opposite. You put this one here, out here. And I'm going to turn it upside down. Upside down thinking. The hand's there. This one's going to be upside down, equal here. So I'll take and slide it in here, and there it is, and I'll put my hands on it. Now, this can't bend, but your wrist can. That will do that. That is why the balance point is between it's between your hands. That's, see, it goes from here to here. It goes here, not here. This goes that, but this over here, now from this part here, that goes forward and that goes back. So the right hand's going back and the left forward is going forward. The left hand's going forward. That's how you get the club to put it into the slot, because that's where you want to be. Well, I guess I could go on with it, but I think it's probably enough for this, because I'm going to use all of that when I get into positions and how your hands and your feet and all that kind of, and these counterbalances all work on these pivot points in your golf swing. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.